It's very normal to have this persistent feeling of confusion after you've experienced narcissistic abuse. It's like you don't really trust your own thoughts anymore, your own judgment of people, your own judgment of if what you want is healthy and if it won't take you down a dangerous and harmful path for you. The thing is, narcissists are so good at shifting your perception of reality. They do it slowly and steadily. You get lost into this toxic arena, and then it's so hard to find your way back out. You know, the gaslighting, it really shifts your world upside down. And while this is their doing, the narcissist is a toxic person. They're they're extreme manipulators. They use people to their advantage with little empathy or remorse when it comes to the other person and harming the other person. While this is all they're doing, we all can empower ourselves, and sometimes we step into these things because maybe we were expecting something that was too good to be true, or we ignored red flags. Because it doesn't matter what manipulator you're with or what toxic person you're with. If you went into like a deep, serious relationship with them, you would have ignored many red flags going into that. And that's where your learning should be, and that's where you should be careful next time around. But once you've been through that, you may have ignored red flags. You're in this too good to be true relationship, and then your whole world shifted upside down. And the untold traumas from that, they don't go away so easily. It's when you're going about your business, when you're talking to people, new people, when you're meeting new people, when you're setting new personal goals, it's very easy to find yourself being confused if people's intentions, if people might be using you again, if you might fall trapped to somebody else's manipulations again. And it's probably healthy to have a certain level of suspicion of people and things for a while, because it's better to err on the side of caution. And you probably don't want to get too close to anybody too soon after a narcissistic relationship, because if you do, chances are you're going to be attracting another toxic person. But here's the thing, it's only once you work on yourself and your own internal issues that you can trust yourself more. Because if you're in a place of extreme neediness, if you're in a place where you need extreme validation, if you're in a place where your childhood wounds or any other trauma is very much present within you, is very much guiding your behaviors, then you probably are going to be attracted towards toxic people. Because toxic people, manipulators, malicious people, they feed off trauma. They feed off unmet needs. That's how they get you. That's how they entrap you. So as long as you're in that kind of place, that place where you're not really in a wholesome existence, you probably should question whether you're going down a healthy path or not. And you should try not to get too close to people. You should try not to make too big life decisions unless you found that a certain level of stability. Because the moment you feel like you need somebody to save you, there are going to be people coming from the woodwork who are offering themselves to be your salvation. And that's the worst trap to fall into. The moment you need to be saved, the moment you need to be rescued, that can never end well. Because people in need of salvation of sorts, people in need of somebody to take them out of a dark place, healthy people don't do that. Healthy people might talk to you, might give you advice, but healthy people don't portray themselves as your solution. Because healthy people don't deceive you. People who portray themselves as being your solution, as your salvation, as if they know the answer to your problems, those are the dangerous ones. But funny enough, those are the ones you're attracted to when you need salvation, because it's like you're gasping for air. You're drowning in a strong kind of this undertow, the ocean. You're being pulled under, and only part of your face is barely above water. Just trying to take that breath intermittently when you can, and you just don't really feel like you have the choice to breathe easily. You'll take any breath, any moment where you can just get some air to keep you going, keep you alive a little bit longer until somebody comes to somehow take you out of that mess. You just keep going for it. And these people who portray themselves as your saviors, you just see them as your next breath of fresh air until you can work your way out of your misery. They make themselves your next logical step. And that's how you see them. But that's dangerous. So when it comes to feeling confused and trusting yourself and not wanting to get into another mess, as long as you're in a messed up place in yourself, new people who come into your life, or even some existing people, who all of a sudden think they can help you all the way out, are most likely the people who are going to use you for personal gain and put you into an even bigger hole later. So what's the point? You get momentary relief because you think you're seeing the light. You think your Savior is pulling you out. You can only really start to trust yourself once you start to face your own issues and accept your own issues. And that can only happen when you stop pointing your finger at other people and start looking into yourself. Because so often we want to ignore our own problems, and we gravitate towards toxic people who are good at distracting us from our own problems temporarily before they make our problems much worse. That's why people like toxic people. Toxic people distract you from your own problems until they have you under their thumb and their grip, and then they can do what they want with you. And then you're screwed much worse. So there's no easy answer. You can only really trust people and trust yourself once you're in a better place. Not a perfect place, there's no such thing, but in a relatively stable place. And that's what your aim has to be, is to work yourself towards that stable place, and everything else will be fine. Thanks for watching.